Do you remember when Christmas really started? Not when the ads appeared on TV, not when the first decorations went up at the mall. No. It started the moment your mom or dad took your hand, squeezed it tight and said, "Come on, let's go see the Eaton's windows." And just like that, your heart would start to pound with excitement. It was usually November. The air was sharp and cold enough to see your breath, but none of that mattered. Because right there, in those gigantic windows on the street, pure magic was unfolding. These weren't just decorations. They were entire worlds, telling stories without a single word. Do you remember? The mechanical bears, moving with a deliberate, gentle rhythm as they built toys in their workshop. The little electric train that chugged endlessly around a tiny snow-dusted village. And the elves, with their tiny hammers and saws and paintbrushes, working away under the warm, golden glow of 1,000 little lights. You couldn't help but stare, your eyes wide with wonder. You'd press your nose right up against the cold glass, trying to see every single detail, completely mesmerized. And behind you, your parents would be smiling not just at the display, but at the look of pure joy on your face. Families would travel from all over, making a special trip downtown just for this. It was more than a shopping trip. It was a tradition. It was a cherished part of the holiday season. It marked the official start of the Christmas countdown, even before the Santa Claus parade. The stores changed. Eaton's itself is gone now, a memory from a different time. But if you close your eyes for just a moment, I bet you can still see those lights, can't you? You can still feel that small hand held tight in yours. For a fleeting second, you're a child again, standing on a snowy sidewalk, and Christmas feels just as magical as it ever did. If you remember those special Christmases, subscribe to the channel and ring the bell so you don't miss our next trip down memory lane. And please, give this video a like if you too remember the magic of those department store windows. Thanks for watching. You remember this, right? There was a postal code in Canada that didn't lead anywhere on a map, but it led straight to the North Pole, and when you wrote to it, magic answered. It always answered. 80H080. Looks like a secret code, doesn't it? Well, it was. It was the secret code of a Canadian childhood. Santa Claus, North Pole, 80H080, Canada. That's all you had to write, and it got there. Do you remember writing that letter? You'd sit at the kitchen table, find the prettiest paper you could, maybe even some colored construction paper. You'd be so careful with your handwriting, because Santa Claus himself was going to read it. It had to be perfect. Then one December afternoon it would begin. It's 6 o'clock, already dark and cold outside. Your dad yells from the top of a ladder, "I need another extension cord." And you knew the most anticipated moment of the year was here. The house was about to light up. Remember those big bulbs? The C7s and C9s. They were huge, colorful glass things. Red, green, blue, yellow, orange. They didn't blink frantically or follow a program. They just shone. Bright, warm, constant. And the heat. You could touch them and feel that little warmth. If you left your hand there too long, it might even burn a little. They were real light bulbs, not LEDs. Untangling them was a family affair on the living room floor. You'd test each bulb, twisting them in and out of the green sockets, surrounded by cardboard boxes full of decorations. And the tree? Setting up the tree was a ceremony. It wasn't some perfect artificial tree. It was a real pine, bought from that lot that magically appeared every December. It made the whole house smell like a forest. It dropped tiny needles everywhere. It was perfect. Decorating was an art form. You'd make garlands of popcorn and cranberries using a needle and thread, piercing each one and eating half of them in the process. Then came the lights. Layers and layers of wires wrapped around the tree. You'd plug everything in at once and wow, the room transformed. It wasn't just pretty. It was magical, that colored light reflecting on the walls and the windows on your family's faces. And the car ride. The whole family would pile into the car, blankets on your laps, just to drive around and see the lights on other houses. You and your siblings, faces pressed against the cold glass, shouting, "Look at that one. No, that one over there is better." Outside, it was a friendly competition. Each house in the neighborhood tried to outdo the next. Mr. Johnson would put a life-sized plastic Santa on his roof. The Lee family would create an entire nativity scene on their lawn. Today, we have energy-saving LEDs and automatic timers. It's more efficient, more practical, more modern. But you'll never get that same warmth of the C9 lights, that strong, true glow, that feeling of the whole family working together on a Saturday afternoon, laughing, maybe arguing a little, but creating memories. That was the real spirit of Christmas. If you remember decorating your house with these magical lights, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell for more nostalgia. Leave a like if you remember these bright Christmases. Share this video with someone who lived these moments with you. And let me know in the comments, does your family still decorate the house every Christmas? Thanks for watching. Do you remember that postal code? The one that didn't show up on any regular map but led straight to the North Pole. It was H0H0H0. And when you wrote to that address, magic answered. It always answered. It looks like a secret code, doesn't it? Well, it was. It was the secret code of a Canadian childhood. Santa Claus, North Pole, H0H0H0, Canada. That's all you needed to write, and somehow your letter would arrive. Do you remember writing it? Sitting down at the kitchen table, picking out the prettiest paper you could find, maybe even some construction paper. You'd concentrate so hard on your handwriting because this was important. Santa Claus himself was going to read it. It had to be perfect. Dear Santa, you'd begin and then you'd pour your heart out. You'd tell him how good you'd been all year, maybe exaggerating just a little bit. How you helped your mom, got good grades, and were nice to your brother. Well, most of the time. It was Christmas, a little white lie couldn't hurt, right? And then came the requests. Oh, the requests were a masterclass in strategy. You always led with the one thing you wanted more than anything in the world. Then you'd add 2 or 3 backup options, just in case the first one is too hard for the elves to make. It was a solid plan. Your mom would help you fold it just right and slide it into the envelope. You'd proudly write the address yourself, that magical HOH000 in your biggest, neatest letters. You'd see it in the mailbox and run inside shouting, Santa wrote back. He wrote back. The letter had your name on it. It mentioned something specific you had written in your own letter. It told you that you had been a good kid, that he and the elves were working hard, and that yes, he would be visiting your house on Christmas Eve. And it was signed, Santa Claus. You treasured that letter. You kept it like a priceless artifact. You showed it to all your friends at school, proof that you were on the nice list. You'd put it on your nightstand and read it over and over again before you went to sleep. It was tangible, physical proof that magic was real. The Santa Letter program is still going strong today, and H0H0H0 still works its magic for a new generation of kids. But for us, we grew up. That kind of magic feels like it's in the past. Or is it? Maybe the real magic wasn't just in receiving the letter, but in the hope, the belief, and the simple joy of sending one. Thanks for taking this trip down memory lane with me. If this brought back some good memories for you, hit that like button and subscribe for more stories like this. See you next time. It was 7 p.m. The CBC was about to come on. And in that moment, nothing else in the world existed. Because Charlie Brown was about to discover the true meaning of Christmas. And you, right along with him. There was no week's notice. There were no DVRs, no tape recorders, no watch later button. If you missed it, you missed it. You'd have to wait until next year. So the whole family planned for it. That night was sacred. Your mother was in the kitchen making hot chocolate, the real kind on the stove, stirring it slowly until it was just right. Your father was fiddling with the TV antenna, adjusting the rabbit ears just so, trying to get the signal to come in perfectly clear. You and your siblings would argue over who got the best spot on the couch, the one right in the middle. And then, when that opening music started, your heart would just race with excitement. Remember Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer from 1964? That slightly choppy yet absolutely perfect stop-motion animation. It was pure magic, or a Charlie Brown Christmas from 1965, with that incredible Vince Guaraldi jazz soundtrack and that sad, weak little tree that nobody wanted, but everyone loved. And of course, How the Grinch Stole Christmas from 1966. You can still hear Boris Karloff's deep voice narrating, can't you? Seeing that Grinch's shifty green face and then watching his heart grow 3 sizes. Those weren't just shows, they were events. And you know what was truly magical about it? Everyone, all across Canada, was watching the exact same thing at the exact same time. Your neighbor next door, your best friend from school, your cousin all the way out in Vancouver. We were all sharing that experience. There wasn't a universe of a million different programs to choose from. There was just that. And it brought people together in a way that's hard to imagine now. After the special ended, nobody just jumped up and ran off. Everyone stayed right there, sitting together, talking quietly, still wrapped in that warm, cozy atmosphere. The credits would roll, the music would fade, and you'd just sit there soaking it all in. That's when you knew. Christmas had truly arrived in that room. It wasn't just about the presents or the decorations. It was about that shared moment of quiet joy. Those memories are so powerful, aren't they? It's amazing how a simple TV show could create such a lasting feeling of togetherness and wonder. What are some of your favorite holiday specials from when you were growing up? Let me know down in the comments. I'd love to read about your memories. Thanks for taking this little trip down memory lane with me. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and consider subscribing for more stories like this one. It really helps the channel out. Until next time, take care. Once a year, the mail carrier brought something more valuable than money, more important than any letter. When that package arrived, your life would just stop. Because the wish book was here. Do you remember how heavy it felt in your hands? The Eaton's or Sears Christmas catalog wasn't just some flimsy flyer. We're talking hundreds of colorful pages printed on thick paper that smelled of fresh ink and endless possibilities. It was a proper book, a Bible of dreams for any kid. And its arrival marked the true beginning of the Christmas season. As soon as you got it, the ritual began. You'd throw yourself onto the living room floor, belly down, and start turning those pages slowly. Very, very slowly. You had to savor it, because every single page was a new universe waiting to be discovered. The toys, oh my gosh, the toys. There were Hot Wheels tracks that seemed to defy gravity, Barbies with their own 3-story dream houses, and electric train sets that took up an entire 2-page spread. There were dolls that actually cried real tears, and G.I. Joe figures complete with jeeps, helicopters, and a full arsenal of accessories. You wouldn't even dare to blink, afraid you might miss some crucial, life-changing detail. Every page was a treasure map leading to pure happiness, and the strategy. Everyone had one. It was serious business. Some of us would dog-ear the pages, folding the corners of the most desired items. Others circled their top picks with a pen, sometimes in red for things that were very important. The really organized kids, the future project managers of the world, made numbered lists on a separate piece of paper. First place, that amazing remote-controlled car. Second place, the tabletop hockey game with the little plastic players. Third place, well, the list went on and on. Your parents would pretend they weren't paying attention. They'd be busy in the kitchen or reading the newspaper, but you knew they were watching from the corner of their eye, mentally taking notes, trying to figure out the hierarchy of your desires. Then, late at night, when you were fast asleep, dreaming of those very toys, they would sneak back to the catalog. They'd sit at the kitchen table, maybe with a cup of coffee, checking the prices, whispering to each other, and planning the surprises that would make Christmas morning so magical. It was their secret mission. Eaton's published its last wish book in 1976, and Sears carried the torch until 2020. Today we have Amazon, with millions of products just a click away. You can see reviews, watch videos, and have something delivered the very next day. It's convenient for sure, but you'll never get back that feeling of pure, unadulterated anticipation. The magic of dreaming while staring at ink on paper. That special feeling of truly waiting for Christmas. If you also spent hours lost in the pages of one of these catalogs, Please give this video a like and subscribe to the channel for more trips down memory lane. Share it with a friend who understands this tradition, and let me know in the comments. What was the one toy you wanted more than anything else? Thanks for watching.